Oh, damn it. I hate when it does that. Okay, there we go. Hello. Hello, hello. Welcome to I don't know why I have these headphones on. I don't really need them, but it feels right to have it on. Oy. Hi. Been wanting my body to heal before I have to get out on a plane at the crack of dawn. Oh no. Oh no. I did not watch Fuck My Son. That is not one that I got to. But hello. Emma watched that one and liked it though. Hi. Hi, Doctober. Fantastic Fest was super fun. It was so much fun. How was everybody's like last 2 weeks? I felt like very like disconnected in a way, which I guess was good. Like, I mean, I was like posting stuff, so I was like on my phone, but I wasn't like I don't know, I wasn't on my phone. Like I didn't really have a lot of like scrolly time or anything like that, you know what I mean? After like watching screens like all day. Oh my god. You have to tell me. You have to tell me if you go. Kate, oh my god. I will totally go with you. Oh geez. I can't wait to tell you about that experience, Des. Keep my black and white. Thank you. I also have I don't know, hold on. I don't know if it's gonna show up, but I could take it out of my hair actually to show you, but I do have a little like pumpkin hair clip. I can't tell if you can see it or not. To complete the ensemble. Somebody at work, like a customer, told me I looked like Halloween, and I was like, that's what I'm going for. Thank you. FOMO was real. It was so much fun. Yeah. So shall we get started? Before I get started, should I even talk about the stuff I watched before I went to Fantastic Fest? It's not that many. It's not that many movies, but I guess we can let me pose that question to you guys, or do I just jump right into everything I watched at Fantastic Fest? I guess I could go through quickly. Go for it. Jump right in. Oh wait, I gotta go for it and then jump right in. Although I guess most of these I reviewed for the most part, so I could just go through them super fast. I'm drinking out of my very obnoxious Bucky's Halloween cup. It holds so much water. This is the best. Okay, let me pull it up. Let's do one at a time. Let's not reveal everything right away. Love it, on theme. Yeah, it's like we've got a whole vibe going on. It's Halloween time. Okay. So let's share the screen. If I posted a review of it, I'll go through it quickly. But I know I don't think I talked about Toxic Avenger. Did I? I honestly can't remember. I probably shouldn't ask this question. I don't remember actually. Toxic Avenger. Toxic Avenger. Finally. Did I actually post a review on it? Hold on. It's kind of wigging me out that I can't remember. I don't think I did. I don't think I did. Okay, so I didn't. Okay, cool. was like talking in circles because my brain was like, wait, did you? Did you? Did I talk about this? I don't think I did. I didn't see one. I just because I saw there wasn't anything before because I saw my review of Conjuring Last Rite, which came out after that. So I don't think I did actually. Yeah. Okay, but Toxie. It was great watching Toxie. It was super fun. It was super fun. I feel like I barely remember it now, but it was bonkers. It was great. I don't know how you guys felt about it. Took a while for us to finally get this though. So I'm glad we did. Okay, this one I definitely posted a review of, so I don't really need to go into this one. But did you guys hear about the TV show? It's never really over. It's almost exclusively like never really over. But you know, sad to see Ed and Lorraine go. The characters, I should say, not the real Ed and Lorraine. Don't like them, but I love Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga playing them. They made buku bucks, so of course not. Yeah. Yeah, they should know you don't kill your cash cow. That is true. You don't kill your cash cow. Yeah. Love seeing them play this couple though. Like in my brain, it's just like a fictional couple. But that was nice. Okay. Then I watched The Black Phone for the first time because I knew the second one was going to be at Fantastic Fest. So I was like, well, I won't bother going to see it if I don't watch the first one. So I was like, why don't I watch the first one? For whatever reason, like when it came out, it was just like, when you see like a trailer for a movie, and I guess like at the time, you watch it and you're kind of like, I don't really care to see that. For no like particular reason. That's what I don't know. There was something about The Black Phone when it came out where I was like, I don't know. I don't really care to see it, and I can't really like pinpoint why, so I just never watched it. I wasn't meant to watch it when it came out, so so I watched it in anticipation for the second one, and I thought it was pretty good. I didn't mind it. It was quite creepy. Was really skeptical about the second one, but I'm hearing, yeah, we'll get into it. All spoiler free, of course, but yeah, I did also quite like the second one. I like both the kid act. Yeah, and it's the same actors in the second one, which is nice. And I feel like the age up in the years is also kind of appropriate. Like it looks very realistic, so it works. They didn't have to get other actors, which is cool. The Allison Jade's hook in the trailer is on point. Yeah, honestly. Yeah, so I think I posted a review of this for Patreon, but I didn't post it like publicly, but I liked it. I quite liked it. Then I watched The Ugly Stepsister. Finally, holy shit. Also reviewed this one on the Patreon. My God, did I genuinely almost barf? It is so good. Yeah, so good. One of those where it's like you see a movie from somebody and it's like a debut, or it's like, it's like one of their first, and you're like, man, like they did this with like a small budget. I can't wait to see what they do with tons of money to make something. So that's what I'm hoping to. Yeah, we love a Delulu girly pop. God, it was so crazy though. I see why everybody was freaking out about this movie. I'm glad I didn't like I've gotten, I feel like, pretty adept at avoiding spoilers for stuff like so I'm glad I didn't have the craziest scene spoiled for me. Like it's literally turning my stomach just thinking about it. I don't want to talk about it further. Not that scene anyway. It's like literally my stomach was kind of like, "Oh, girl, you better stop. You better stop." But oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Moving right along, still pre Fantastic Fest. Watched The Long Walk. Thought it was great. Thought it was awesome. I'm eating. Please don't. Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. We're moving on because I'm going to throw up. I was honestly expecting worse, Kate. Oh my god. I don't know. I guess just something about that scene. I was like, it was not good for my tummy. Was not good for my tummy. Yes, so good as McFreeze. Honestly, such a great casting choice. And they're gonna be in another movie together. I can't remember the other person's name, which seems bad. Hang on one second. David Johnson and Cooper Hoffman. They're gonna be in another movie together. David, our king, honestly, yes. Everybody bow the fuck down. Bow the fuck down. So good. Sorry if I keep drinking water. I've got a little bit of a tickle in my throat, which I think is just from like the traveling portion of my trip. I should be fine though. No idea why I'm only talking in General Z. General Z? Generation Z? Is that what you meant? With the period? Yeah. I will be seated for whatever he is in. Yeah, honestly. Yeah. On it, genuinely incredible casting for Peter McFreeze, though. Incredible. Incredible. So good. Love. I did really like the changes that they made. I like that because then it's like the movie kind of stands on its own a little bit and the book also stands on its own a little bit. Like obviously they have a lot of similarities, but I liked the differences. I thought they were good. Autocorrect. Okay. I kind of figured. Okay. Then after that, we watched the fucking craziest documentary. The fuck? I can't believe I really hadn't like heard of this story. But oh my god. My god. Insane story. Yes, we did. Yeah. Yeah. Fucking crazy story. Damn. My god, just seeing her photo still crazy. Yeah. Crazy. I really do got to read that book though. Like the next day when I went to work, I was like, I walked right over to the business section and I was like, you. So gagged to see that author in there. And then my book seller senses were tingling and I was like, I know that name. Why do I know that name? I know that book. Oh my god. It was staring at me the whole time. Crazy story though, honestly. Crazy story. Okay, so next one we have here is technically was watched in Austin. So by this point I'm in Texas now. We watched Deathgasm at the Airbnb because Deathgasm 2 was also premiering at Fantastic Fest. So just as like a little refresher, we put on Deathgasm. So just to catch our brains up, it's kind of just on in the background. Humor is so crass, but I do enjoy watching Deathgasm. I think it is fun. I think it is super duper fun. I would like to just like call everybody's attention to like the likes I normally get on my reviews. Not that it's all about the likes. I think this is just funny though. So like this, these are kind of like average. Okay, kind of average. I just want to point that out. Um, because the next thing I watched was him. 46 comments. Holy shit. It was only like 20 earlier. Yeah, so my stupid little quips that I do on Letterboxd, as you do. Um blew up. I feel like I'm destined to have like one Letterboxd comment blow up every year. Last year it was my review of Lisa Frankenstein, which blew up. And this year it's him. This year it's him. Yeah. So we watched him. We watched it in Texas. This was not part of Fantastic Fest, but there was like a free. It was at like this. It was like Galaxy Theater. Never heard of this theater before in my life. I don't know if it's just a Texas thing or something. Very small movie theater. There was like it was just like a free ticketed like early screening. So we all went and saw that. I will say this movie theater ass. I'm sorry if anybody watching is a fan of Galaxy Theater. We got put in the front row, which is not normally a bad thing because like most movie theaters like give a good amount of space between the screen and the front row seats, right? Like you have a good amount of space because like you still have to be back a little bit. Not this movie theater. This movie theater, I'm not exaggerating when I say like the seats were like 4 feet from the screen. So we got put in the front row. When I tell you we were reclined as far back as the seats would go. And it was like so much so that like the screen was like still kind of distorted. It was wild. So like 0 out of 10 like movie theater experience, but the movie was all right. I would love to rewatch it at some point, like just like looking straight at a screen normally. Sorry, my nose keeps running today also. Yeah, honestly, there were points where I was like stretching my neck like in the theater, and like there was a couple of like stroby parts in this movie, as you can imagine, that I was getting a headache because I was just like so close. Terry Quithers is purdy. Not a fan of front, but it's like whenever I like if I've gone to like an AMC, if I have to sit in the front row, it's like I'd say like AMC is kind of like middle ground. When I was at Alamo Draft House, which is where Fantastic Fest is, I guess maybe because they often have people come and talk or stuff or do like presentations or something. There is so much space between the front row and the screen that like I didn't like if I didn't want to, I didn't have to lean my chair back in the front row at Alamo. And I think that's the way it should be, honestly. So it's like I like if I did have to sit in the front row at Alamo Draft House, which I did a couple of times, it was not bad at all. But Galaxy Theater, get fucked with your front row. That's awful. Middle for me, yeah. Near the center at the end of an aisle. Yeah, I usually go towards the end of the aisle also just so I can sit kind of by myself. Love front row seating. Don't have to look at other people's heads. Yeah. I'm like again at Alamo Draft House. I also didn't mind sitting in the front row. I do too. There's one in Naples, but it's very far. Like it's not. I'm gonna like email them every day and be like, put one in Tampa. Put one in Tampa, please. But yeah. So him. It was fine. It's very like skin deep, and that's like all I'll say. I kind of wish they had dug a little deeper into the themes. So but I know at least Kate said she hasn't seen it yet. So that's all I'll say. It was just very skin deep. So it kind of felt like a one big like music video to me almost. But the performances are like worth going to see it, in my opinion. Like Closest is in Boston. Yeah, they need to put them everywhere, honestly. The food was also incredible, I have to say. And I'm speaking as a vegan. The food was incredible. Skin deep, is that a pun? Unintentional pun. But yeah, this is oh my god, the comments though. Nah, that goes to a different man with Sebastian Stan. Why can't people just like have fun on Letterboxd? I don't understand. Literally said this when I saw the trailer. So did I. Like I had this review like locked in. Like from the minute I saw the trailer, I was like, it's like The Substance for men. Okay, so now beyond this point, this is all Fantastic Fest. Forgive me if I can't remember if a movie is going to be coming out like soon or not. A lot of this is, some of this is already out that we'll talk about, or like just came out. Some of it's coming out like in October. There are some that I'm sure don't have distribution necessarily right yet. So if I can't remember, I'm sorry. I also may change the ratings as we go, because I don't know if I did it for this very first one. For like, because I was watching so many movies like back to back to back, 3.5 kind of became my default if I liked it. And then some of them I went back like a day or two later and like changed it. But when you watch like so many movies, so if I didn't feel more strongly like the positive side or the negative side, I just did like a 3.5 as like a placeholder. So if I change it midstream. Okay, but the first movie I watched, like the opening night, there wasn't like a whole lot playing. There's only like 2 showings that night. It starts later. So I watched The Piano Accident. I've never watched anything from this director before. But it's about like this influencer who doesn't feel pain. So she does all these like insane stunts like for YouTube. And after a horrible accident happens in her latest video, she kind of like goes not quite like into hiding, but she kind of just like goes on a little retreat or whatever. But then a journalist like blackmails her into doing an interview. And yeah, it's very like, it's kind of like a dark French comedy. It was good. 3.5 is kind of my default too. Yeah, that was just the easiest like default. Easiest default. But this was fine. I was like, I didn't really want to watch Primate, which was like the big horror opener for the fest. I did end up watching it later. But everybody was going for Primate. So I was like, I'll go for this one. And it was funny. It was a nice, like, easy way to like go into the fest. And then the second one I watched on opening night. This one I felt very strongly about. Crushed. I bet Emma stayed far. Yes, yeah, Emma did stay far away from Primate. She did not watch it. Yeah, you guys are correct. Okay, but then I watched Crushed. I don't often tell people to not watch a movie. No one I know liked Crush. Yeah, for good reason. Yeah, I don't often tell people to not watch a movie, but I would legitimately try and influence people from not watching this movie. So the premise is that the whole premise is just like fucking awful. Here, this is okay. Okay, I will say too, when I booked it, like the summary was so vague, very much like this. Like this doesn't sound necessarily bad, right? A family's faith and resilience are tested when their daughter is kidnapped, leading to an intense journey of discovery and justice. What it doesn't tell you is that there's a whole that just makes and Brie, and I'm going to tell you why you're not going to watch this movie. Because it starts off with this little girl and her friend getting shown a video by her friend's older brother of those like I'm going to use fetish in quotations because what it is just vile and evil of women, like scantily clad women, crushing kittens and other animals to death on the internet. I'm just going to be blunt. That's what this movie starts off with. And then this little girl's kitten goes missing. So she thinks it's been taken by the people who make these videos. And then she gets human trafficked. That's what this movie's about. That's what this movie's about. And then look at this summary again, which tells you none of that. Yeah, so literally, yeah, exactly. Everybody's like, yeah, no, 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 no. Awful, awful, terrible, awful. And then on top of that, the movie fucking lasts forever. Like there's so many like conversations had with characters because the little girl's dad is a priest. So there's like all these conversations about like God and why does God let bad things happen to good people? And they like keep making the same point about it over and over and over again. And the movie has like 5 different endings. Like it has 5 different points where you're like, okay, the movie could end here. And then it keeps going. So not only was like the subject matter very much not for me, it was very disturbing and intense. It just keeps going on forever. Unnecessarily. It was like I was so upset. Like I was like, and I'm not kidding. Like I was like tearing up and like crying and like kind of covering my face in the theater. And at one point, at multiple points, Emma was kind of like, you can like just go if you have to go, like leave the theater. Because I was very distraught. Very distraught. Yeah. Sorry. Awful, terrible, awful. I hated every second of it. So yeah. And I think personally, I think it's a crime to make a summary so bland and not at least give people a little bit of a hint as to what it's about, because that's so disturbing to go into not knowing anything. Because if I had known it was going to have like animal cruelty like that, I just would have not gone in. You know what I mean? Terrible, awful, no good, very bad. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah. So that was the first opening night. So there's only 2 screenings that night, and then from beyond this point, it's going to be like 4 or 5 films a day. Yeah, the poster also is also kind of misleading. Yeah, yeah. Everything about it, I'm like, yeah, they put a place where it's like where I can go look at a warning or a content warning if I want to, and then nobody else has to go look at it if they don't want to. But holy shit. I would have been distraught. Yeah, I was like in tears. I was in tears. What a down. Yeah. Yeah. And then after all of that opening night, me and Emma get up early the next day. We go to a press screening, which they started at like 8 a.m. Did a press screening, and then we saw, just on a whim, Body Blow. We were going to watch something else that I can't think of the title of it right now. I feel like it's like When Evil Lurks, or When Evil, something about evil, When Evil, something. The Evil That Binds Us. That's what it was. The Evil That, we were going to watch that, and we were like looking at the description, and it's like a period piece, and it seems kind of like a hard one to sit through at 8 a.m. So we, on a whim, just went for Body Blow, which is like an erotic gay thriller. And it ended up being so awesome. Like like just the fucking tagline, also: a dirty cop, a deadly twink, a web of lust and betrayal. This was awesome. It's like an Australian, like like a late night erotic thriller. It's about like dirty cops, like kind of like drug dealer, like gang leaders that are drag queens. You had me at and it's Aussie, Des. It's an Aussie film. It was so awesome. It was so incredible. It's honestly, it's beautiful. Also, like like just like the colors and everything. It's beautifully shot. So much fun. There's a cock cage, and I'll give you zero context for that. I didn't know that such a thing existed. I guess that makes sense that I wouldn't know that such a thing exists. But yeah, this is it was so good. We were so pleasant. Like at first when it first started, we were like looking at each other like, I don't know if that's gonna be I don't know if this is a good 8 a.m. choice either, but it ended up being awesome. And the like director and like the filmmakers were handing out, I don't have them with me. They were handing out like trading cards for this. And so I have like a whole little envelope of like trading cards of like the different characters and stuff in the movie, which is awesome. So definitely highly recommend Body Blow. If it, when it comes to streaming. I think the guy who the director, sorry, I should say the director is who I spoke to, who gave me the cards. He said, I think like Dark Sky Films. I think he said that we were sat in the theater to watch another movie, and like me and Emma were talking to him. And Emma had asked about distribution in Australia, and I think they're still working on that. But I think he said Dark Sky Films picked it up for US, so we might be able to see this soon. But it was super fun. Hi, Marielle. So, yes, this one. Yes, Body Blow. Watch so many amazing gay films in here. So, I'm going to try. I really got to like talk shorter about each one, I feel like, but this is going to be a long stream. Strap in. Okay, then I watched Silver Screamers, which is the cutest, most wholesome documentary. I'll try and go to the page for each one. So this is like a documentary where erotic, gay, and thriller, and a cock cage. Yeah, it's got literally everything. And at one point, somebody drives a car, and the license plate says Twink Mobile on it. It's incredible. But Silver Screamers documentary, super wholesome. The director is like, the whole premise of it is he's like trying to get funding for making a movie, and it's like really hard to do that. So he like kind of discovers like this subsidy to support like senior activities. So he gathers a bunch of senior citizens to make a short horror film. And it's so freaking cute. So the documentary starts off with the short film, which was super fun. And then you get to see, then it kind of goes back to like how this all came to be, and you get to see them like learning how to like operate the cameras and do the sound and how to do the practical effects and things like that. And it was so much fun. Super, super freaking cute, super wholesome. The power of filmmaking. Genuinely. The power of horror. But it's a lot of fun. Just a cute, that's all I can say. Cute, wholesome crap. I'm going too far back. Okay. First full day was a pretty incredible day. So I watched Body Blow, watched Silver Screamers. Then I watched The Cramps, a period piece, which the title was making some people, I think, make them think it was a documentary. It was not a documentary. This is like a story. So it follows this girl who has like a really tough home life, and then she gets a job at this like beauty salon. And then meanwhile she's like dealing with these debilitating like menstrual cramps that becomes like a real life monster that kills people. Which is really fun. It was inspired by the director Brooke H. Sellers' battle with endometriosis, and this was so much fun. Very John Waters. The star, Laura Kitchen, in the like by herself does not really look like Ricki Lake, but in the movie it was giving Ricky Lake. Like this was like such a John Waters type beat. Again, with drag queens, with I really want to watch this. This one was so good. This one is so good. Whole lot of fun. The Cramps. It's great. And I watched it while I was bleeding, which felt appropriate. And then I tried this one. Some of the movies were they were preceded by a short film. I think I only saw one other one that I forgot to log. So I did try to do my due diligence and log the short film that played in front of it, which was Plant Moms, which was also fun and funny. Very meta. 4D experience. Yes, 4D experience. It was the best way to watch it. But yeah, this was just a short film that played in front of the Cramps. So I was doing my diligence and logging it. Okay, then we have Indonesian horror movie, A Woman Called Mother. It's very much like if you've seen any other Indonesian horror movie, you know the vibe of this one. Like I feel like they have a very distinct kind of vibe, a very distinct kind of style. And this one delivered. Not in a bad way. It definitely delivered. Sorry, my nose really just, it's like it keeps like running, you know, where it's like coming down your face. That was a bad way to say that. Running down your face. Indonesian horror rocks. Yeah, it really does. It's a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun. The jump scares were awesome in this one. I have to say there were more than a few that really got me. Like they definitely were playing around with your expectations. The movie is kind of like the title suggests. So it's like their mother is acting strangely after they move to a new city. And then the kids are unraveling the mystery of why that happens. That's the premise. But simple, effective. I had a fun time. I watched the screening because like when you go to certain screenings, it's like depending on which theater you pick, I guess, in which you never really know unless you pick like Theater 5. That's like the big one, I guess. I don't know everything about Fantastic Fest. A lot of the times when you go and watch the movie, the like cast and the crew, or at least some of them, are also there. So you get to like hear the director like intro the film, and then afterwards there's like a Q&A usually with the cast and the crew. And I have to say the cast of this one, like genuinely beautiful. You don't see her face in this, but like the actor who plays the mom, fucking gorgeous. The whole time they were standing up there introing the film, I was just like, so pretty. But I would definitely recommend that one. It was a good one. Sorry if it feels like I'm flying through these. Then I watched Vicious. This was the last movie of the first like full, so day 2, which is like the first full day. Vicious, Dakota Fanning. This one's gonna be, I'm gonna wait for this one to come out before I post a review, because this is one of those where it's like you can't really talk about it without spoiling stuff. So I'm gonna avoid doing that. My review stands. Dakota ate it up. I'm iffy on the movie in general, so I just put it was just okay. It was a little bit confusing. I think this one is going to Paramount. I think this one is Paramount, if I remember correctly. I don't know if this has like release dates on. Oh, it doesn't say. Yeah, I'm almost positive this one is Paramount though. So I think it might be exclusive to there. Don't quote me. Yeah, just hard to talk about without like talking about everything. So I actually don't even know, what does the summary say? Spend the night fighting for her existence as she slips down a disturbing rabbit hole contained inside a mysterious gift from her late. Wow, that is so fucking vague. But I get, yeah. If I say any more, then I'm gonna have to explain, and it's just too weird. So I'm gonna look forward to like watching this one again because this was at the end of the night, and I had gotten up at like 6:30 in the morning to get ready for an 8 a.m. screening. So I was also a little tired. I was also a little tired. So I ended up skipping the last showing because the last block usually started sometime around like 11:30. I skipped the last block because I'd gotten up so early. But yeah. Yeah. Then I watched Shelby Oaks, which I did post a spoiler-free video of. Um, this was good. It was a good, effective, like quasi found footage horror movie. I liked that it was mixed. Like it's not fully found footage, and I really like that because I do enjoy found footage, but I don't know about the rest of you guys. Like sometimes, like depending on how they do the found footage, it can kind of wear on you where it's like the tricks and the tropes of found footage kind of get old by the end of the movie, and you inevitably get to that point where you're like, why don't they just drop the camera and run? Um so I think kind of having it be like a mixed format like this one was allowed the really effective things that found footage can access, like really allowed those to shine and then not get old by the end. So I thought that was nicely done. And there is a special cameo. I guess I won't spoil it for I guess anybody if you don't know. But if you watch Spooky Astronauts at all, there is a cameo. There is a very fun cameo, and this was fun to see and be like, "That's my friend." Super duper fun. I watched this one at 8 a.m. press screening also. First thing in the fucking morning. Although it was kind of nice because Alamo Drafthouse is a drive, not a drive-in, Jesus. It's a dine-in theater. So for especially like the first like 15 minutes of the movie, there's like people coming in and out and like serving the food and the drinks. But not at the press screenings because they're so early. So it was kind of nice to watch like a kind of quieter movie like this at 8 in the morning where like nobody was like coming in and out of the theater because until I didn't get used to it until the end of the festival. So but I was getting like distracted. Like people would come in the theater and I immediately like started looking over. They have themed meals too sometimes. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they had like a cute little like Fantastic Fest menu also on top of their regular menu. But Shelby Oaks was good. It was good. Solid, fucking solid, like first film. You know? I should say debut film. But this one's coming out very soon. I think October 3rd or something, maybe. A lot of them are coming out soon, so if I get the date wrong again, I do apologize. But effective. All right, let's go into some weirder stuff. Then I watched A Useful Ghost, which is a Thai. I wouldn't necessarily call this like a horror movie. Maybe like a horror comedy because it does involve the dead and it involves ghosts. Um, so it's like this weird kind of like I don't even want to say like alternate universe. It kind of feels like an alternate universe. Um, where it's like when you die, like um if you still have like a usual ghost thing, if you still have like business on this earth, your ghost will stick around. Or if somebody remembers you still, you will stick around. Which that kind of takes it to like this wholesome level. Um so you have this woman who dies of a respiratory disease, and then her spirit possesses a vacuum cleaner to like still be with her husband. It's very quirky and like kind of silly almost, but it's like it kind of teeters that line of like it's kind of silly funny and then also kind of like wholesome and sweet. uh and it's all kind of wrapped around with like this tenant in this apartment who has a vacuum cleaner that like in the middle of the night is like coughing. And so he thinks the vacuum cleaner is possessed, and then this repairman comes to his apartment to look at it, and then he starts telling him this story about this woman, and that's what we see in the film. Yeah, the poster is gorgeous also. Yeah, pull it up. Yeah. Poster is gorgeous. The movie is also gorgeous, honestly. Like everybody's so pretty. There is like a cute little gay storyline in there also. Very, very cute, very quirky, very different. Like it's like I've never seen a movie with a story quite like this. So if at any point you see this on like a streaming service or something, not a bad way to spend like 2 hours. It's a bit long, but it's kind of worth it. And it also has a very very like eat the rich ending. So it's kind of got everything. Like the story has like a lot of different themes, but it works. It was very cute. Cutie ghost story. Like I said, cutie ghost story. Okay. I know it's so many movies, guys. I mean, this is only like the third day of films. Then I watched Coyotes, which is one of 2 Justin Long movies I saw at this festival. Coyotes was all right. It's another kind of like eat the rich. This one's a bit more straightforward. Coyotes just they're like in the Hollywood Hills and they're eating all these rich people. It is what it is. It was fine. Like it was fine. The humor was all right. The kills are pretty brutal. It is like, coyotes killing people. The thing that kind of helps though, because I'm not like the biggest fan of animal attack movies. Like they're very hit or miss. Because I usually know like people are gonna fight back and that means hurting the animals. And I'm like, I feel like almost exclusively on the animal side, like all of the time. It kind of helped that the coyotes are very clearly CGI, which actually really helps me. I don't know if that, that might affect other people differently. That helps me because then it's like I can suspend my disbelief a little better because I'm like, okay, the coyotes don't look real. So when the humans start fighting back, it's not as painful for my soft heart. Exactly. Yeah. If they look fake, it's better for me. I'm too soft for that stuff. And I found that out at this festival. There was weirdly a lot of animal stuff in this festival. It was a theme I was not anticipating. Love animal attack movies. Komodo sharks, love them. Then you'll really like this one. You'll like this one. It was funny. Like the humor is funny in it. It's Oh no, yeah. Crushed is still the worst one. That was still the worst one, but there was like a weird kind of theme going on here with that. With animal stuff that I did not appreciate. Especially with cats in particular. This one also has you don't see anything, it's the implication that a cat was eaten by a coyote. It's mostly just like blood on a driveway and a collar. So it's like you don't, it's not vicious. It's the implication that a coyote ate a cat. I'll just give the animal warnings right off the bat because I know a lot in this group might want that. Whenever I hear about animal scenes, I make a mental note. You'll always know this about me. I get warned far and wide about animal violence. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of animal stuff. Again, we went through the worst one. Crushed remains the worst one. Okay. And then we got to the other worst one, which is Strangers Chapter 2, which I will be making a review of because I think people do love a good rant. And I do have a lot to say about this, honestly. Because I'm just going to come right out and say this without spoilers. There is some stupid fucking decisions made in this movie that made no goddamn sense. And I'm saying that. I'm saying that with my full chest, even though I got invited to their little like Strangers Chapter 2 party, which was like right across the street from the theater. And I'm sure you guys might have seen it on my Instagram. I took all those videos and pictures of like all the actors like dressed up as the strangers. With my full chest, I went to that party, got myself my free drink at the bar, went and watched this movie, and then confidently rated it half a star. I paid to be there, so at that festival. Yeah, so I'll get into it. I'm gonna make like a spoiler video so I can talk about it, because there's one sequence in particular that like I genuinely like I need an explanation because it was so stupid. It was like insulting. Yeah, yeah. Did a poll on a stream asking what people wanted to see. No one voted for Strangers 2. Oh, Jesus, Brie. Oh, God. Okay, well, good to know that movie's on my never watch list. So weird, because Rennie Harlan usually makes entertaining stuff. Yeah, I was, the story was so bad. And I'll just say, and I'll get into it when I make a video too. There was a way they could have done this that could have been interesting. I don't want to say it because that like I guess it's kind of a spoiler, because then you know that the movie doesn't go in this direction. There is a way they could have done this that would have still made it interesting and scary. That's all I'll say for now. But they completely went at this fuck ass direction that they took it, which is so fucking weird. And it's just gonna get worse in the third one. It's just going to get worse. I can tell you that right now. There's no way that they come back from what they did in this movie. Poor Madeline Pesh. I will say I didn't. So like if like I said, like oftentimes like the filmmakers and the cast are in the theater with you. I wasn't in the theater with them, but they simulcast the like intro and then the Q&A afterwards. You can stay in your theater if you watched it. So I was watching the simulcast of it. At the intro, I will say like she kind of seemed like she didn't want to be there. Which made me feel real bad. Like at one point, like they did the intro and Rennie Harlan and I think it was like a producer, I can't remember the other guy's name. They were like laying all this praise on her, which was really nice. And like she kind of interrupts them, grabs the microphone and is like, maybe you should like watch the movie first before you make a decision, which I was immediately like, oh no. And then when she thought it was over, she tried to like leave really fast. And then the Fantastic Fest person was like, oh, wait, we're going to take a picture. And she had to like come back. And I'm like, she doesn't want to be here. And then I think I heard she left during the screening. Like, I don't think she stayed for the whole thing. I feel like she didn't want to be there. And she like, honestly, she did for what she was given. She did. I think just the movie was ass. Like the whole like screenplay, ass, complete ass. Oh yeah. I'm not even really like halfway through though. I'm trying to go fast, but it's not happening. It is, yeah. I'm 5 stars. I'm genuinely surprised. 5 stars. Yeah. Beware of the Medium. I was trying to. I don't know if I've seen that one. I feel like I have to make a do not watch list on Letterboxd for like disturbing movies like that. So at least I can refer to it, like, or when I look it up, and I can see it's on my do not watch list. But yeah, I'll move on from this. Like I said, I'm gonna make a video and I'll get into everything, all the spoiler stuff. But the movie was ass. It was ass. All right, then I watched Black Phone 2, which I watched this after Strangers 2, which I feel like genuinely everything, like anything I pretty much anything I could have watched after Strangers 2 would have been at least 4 stars, I think. But this one was quite good, I have to say. I kind of liked that they took it a like slightly different direction. It's not a completely different direction because the first one kind of has that supernatural element with the phone. He's talking to the previous victim, so there's a little bit of a little touch of the supernatural in the first one. They lean into it a little harder in the second one, but kind of in a fun way. It's a little Freddy Krueger. Because if you've seen the first one, hopefully I'm not spoiling this by saying this, cover your ears for 2 seconds, I guess. The grabber Dot is dead. He's killed in the first movie. So so they do kind of like a Freddy Krueger kind of thing with him. Sorry, these keep slipping and I'm just gonna take them off because I don't need them. I don't think the mask is bedazzled. It's like covered in ice and snow. It's very like frosty, this setting. Yeah. But this one, I think they did it. I think they clearly seem like they had fun making this, even though it's like, again, it's like dark material with like, he kills kids. That's his thing. I thought the effects were cool. There were some good scary moments. Another satisfying ending, and I will say, like, there is a particular phone call that happens at the very end of this movie. I won't give any context for it, but I absolutely sobbed. I absolutely sobbed, and it was kind of unfair that the movie made me do that, and I should rate it down here for how hard it made me cry. But it was good. I was thinking Freddy after the trailer. Yeah, it's definitely giving like Freddy Krueger. Is it like the TV series The Leftovers where they run out of book source material? Well, it's based on a short story, so I never read the short story. I imagine they ran out of material like in the first movie. I don't know how long of a short story it is. Like, I'm just guessing that they probably were out of book material in the first one. So this is already like off the rails, but it was good. Like, I don't know, for a sequel, it was good. Again, it could just be because I came right. I watched this right after this movie, which I did not like, but I liked this one a lot. This was the end of my third day, I think. So cried. It was awesome. Okay, then I think this is the last time I went for the 8 a.m. press screenings because it was just like so fucking early to get up. And I didn't want to do it anymore, to be honest. So I watched Apopheniacs. I think that's how you say this. I think I've said it a different time every single time I've said this. This was one, another kind of theme, I guess, in the fest was like new technology and is particularly like AI and like commentaries on AI. This was one of them. So this story essentially just follows like this dude who is creating deep fake videos to like exploit people he knows, or to like, so it's like, I don't want to like give specifics because it gives it away, but he like, if somebody like wrongs him or just to stir up shit, he's creating deep fake videos of them saying like maybe racist shit, maybe like it's like not, it's like something that you wouldn't want out, you know what I mean? That's not real, but then you see the consequences of those videos, whether it's like a friend group going crazy or like actual real life violence that happens because somebody saw this deep fake video and they think that the person in the video is real. They really said those things and they're a bad person. So they go and do something about it. So it was an interesting It was an interesting premise. It was an interesting kind of discussion on, you know, how this technology can be obviously weaponized in a really bad way. Um, so it almost kind of plays like an anthology, even though it's not. Um, which was interesting also. Um, but yeah, there's like kind of three distinct segments in this, but they are all connected by the same person. But yeah, it was a really interesting like topic. It was a really interesting way to like show this technology, I guess. Super relevant right now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Super relevant. It is. Yeah. Does it play out as a thriller? Definitely. I would say like with the gore elements, it's kind of more of like a horror drama maybe, but with some comedy. I don't know. It's kind of hard to pinpoint. It's got elements. So let's see what Letterbox says. Letterbox says horror thriller. I don't disagree. I think there is some comedy elements in here that I think need to probably should be represented. Sean Gunn plays this like super rich like asshole dude and is really funny in it. So it's kind of darkly comedic, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the like plan is for release on this one, but I would keep an eye out for it. Put it on your watch list maybe so you get notified if it's streaming, because it was super interesting. I liked it. Um, okay, then the next thing I watched, this is so funny. There were a couple of movies in the lineup that were like restorations of older movies. This was the only one that I saw that was a restoration. And I just thought it would be funny because it was filmed in Florida, so way down south though in the Keys. It was filmed, but this is like a restoration of this like really bad like Jaws ripoff. And it's not just a Jaws ripoff in that it copies the plot of Jaws. They actually fully stole clips from Jaws like 1, 2, and 3. I think the people that were introing the movie said legitimately just completely ignoring like IP laws and stuff and stole clips from actual Jaws films to put in their movie, which was so funny. Um It does. It does. They changed it at like the last second, but in the actual movie, you hear it building up that like bum ba da ba 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 da bum ba 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 bum, and then it changes right after that. But it happens multiple times in the movie where it's like it like you hear the lead up of the Star Wars theme, and you're like, wait a second. Implying that the other Jaws were actually nice in comparison or something. It's just funny that they're like fully like stole clips and stuff from it to make this movie. It's like one of these like it's so bad it's good. Like it was just, it was really funny to watch. I'll probably never watch it again, but it was funny to watch in a theater full of people. I think it's on Tubi. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, it does say it is on Tubi right here. So if you want to watch it for free, I've heard Rebecca McKendry talk about this a couple times. Yeah, it's really funny. It's a funny watch. It's just silly, goofy, bad, but in a fun way. And it is bizarre to hear like the Star Wars theme kind of build up in this. It's like such a fucking bizarre choice. Never want. Yeah, this is definitely like Cruel Jaws is definitely a group watch. Like have a couple of drinks, have like a little like party with like snacks and stuff, and put this on. Funny as fuck. Okay, then I followed this up with something like the absolute, like, I don't think I could get more opposite from this with my next movie, which was Camp, which is this like queer, witchy, like lo-fi kind of coming of age sort of tale, following this girl who she watches her friend OD in front of her, and she's like, she's like grieving this and like going through it, like, because that's an intense thing to witness. So she takes like this summer job at this summer camp. And it kind of has like craft vibes. That's all I'll say. Like it's like kind of a little bit of like the craft. Very, very vibey. Lo-fi has been like the best way I've been able to describe like the vibes of this. Very lo-fi. I was gonna say my friend Omira said this, and I'm actually seeing it in this review also. It feels like the movie feels like the scenes of like the Pink Opaque in I Saw the TV Glow, but it's like full movie of that kind of vibe. So if you've seen I Saw the TV Glow, think of like the Pink Opaque moments. That's like the vibes of this. Queer, witchy, take my money. Directed by a woman also. I watched so many movies. I tried to watch as many of the ones like directed by women as I could. Camp sounds cool. Trying to find a trailer for it, but I can't. Yeah, I think this one is like very like new. Oh my god, love the Pink Opaque. Exactly, yes. Just imagine I saw the TV Glow and I'll start crying. Yeah, it's very much that. It's like a feature length version of like the Pink Opaque. Egyptian ripoff of Rocky Horror. Oh my god. I love when people just blatantly steal stuff and it ends up being funny. But yeah, this was like this is like the most opposite you could get from that shark movie. But it was so good. It was so honestly so beautiful. Yeah. Truly. It was a beautiful film. Women making movies, man. I watched so many fucking great movies that were directed by women in this festival. I think that was my favorite part of this. I made sure to mark it completely. I'm like, yes. And then I kept the gay vibes going that day. Watched The Restoration at Grayson Manor. I don't know why it's not loading. If you're looking at that poster and you're like, is that Chris Colfer? He's acting again. You are correct. It's Chris Colfer. So this is like a kind of like a dark horror comedy about this pianist who's played by Chris Colfer, that literally like loses his hands. Like his hands get chopped off. And so he's like left with his like domineering mother. They have this incredible banter. Mother's played by Alice Krieg, who was incredible in this. Her outfits were like so cunty. I loved her. They have this like amazing like banter this entire movie. But she gets this doctor to come and like make him these like very advanced like new technology kind of hands. So yeah, keep the yes, Kurt. Keep the gay vibes going. Yes. Alice Krieg. Yeah, she was incredible in this. So good. Chris Colfer also incredible in this. It's very gay. It's a little bit campy. Has some scary moments, has some gore. It's got a little bit of everything, genuinely. And it was written by Clay McLeod Chapman, who is a horror author for all of my book nerds out there. So he was there. I got to watch this one in the theater. They were also all in the theater. The director, Chris Colfer, Clay McLeod Chapman was in there. He did his like running around the room thing that he does. So it was really awesome to watch it in the theater with them. And then I stayed for like the Q&A afterward. The director is a queer man, and he wanted to make, I think he's from Ireland. I feel like he was from Ireland. But yeah, so he wanted to make like a queer movie because, you never get to. Yes, I got his new book also because they did have a little book fair during the fest too. They had all these different events like drag shows, trivia nights, stuff like that. They had like a whole fundraiser for like trans film. It was like put on by Mark Duplass. And they had like a little book fair. And, since Clay McLeod Chapman was there at the fest, I did get to talk to him. I told him how great the movie was, how much I love his books. I totally fangirled. This was so much fun. So much fun. If you get the chance to see it, put it on your watch list. I saw Bree said you're just adding stuff to your watch list this whole time, which I love. But yeah, definitely add this one to your watch list as well. This one was a lot of fun. Definitely was a lot of fun. Okay, and then I think Deathgasm was the last one of the night. Oh no, just kidding. The secret screening was. Okay. Then we watched Deathgasm 2, Goremageddon, which was fun. With a sequel and, kind of repeating some jokes and things like that, I feel like sometimes it's like not quite as good always as the first one. The first one has a special place in my heart. Yeah. I mean, my review stands. There is a moment in this movie where I think I saw no less than 20 penises. So I think it definitely lost half a star for me there, where I'm like, oh my God, like when does it end? But it's just as goofy, just as crass as the first one. I haven't been to a film fest in years. The atmosphere of these screenings can be so fun. Yeah, it was my first year of Fantastic Fest. It was super fun. The emoji. Genuinely, I was traumatized. It was so many dicks. It was so many dicks. I'm like, if I never want to see it. I never want to see one in a movie or otherwise ever again after this movie. Thank you. Thank you. It was very difficult and trying time. Yeah, it was fun. It was Deathgasm. It was just like, it was kind of one of those, like, it felt kind of like a love letter almost, like, because the first one has become kind of like this cult classic. Like, it just seems like, let's make a second one to be like, let's have fun. The whole cast came back, which was also awesome. There's nothing worse than like, you have like a maybe not as good sequel and then a bunch of the actors have changed. So all of the actors had come back, which was super fun. Genuinely, it's just dongs. There's a whole sequence where it's just dongs over and over and over again. But it was fun. I wouldn't say to not watch it. It's fun. Okay, then I don't know. I kind of assume they might do this at other film festivals. Somebody can tell me if I'm right or wrong in the chat. That they do secret screenings where you don't know what the movie is until you sit down and you get it. There's 4 at Fantastic Fest. I was able to book tickets to 3 of them, the first 3. So the first one, I didn't guess any of them right. We did with our little group, we did a whole thing where we tried to we put in our picks, like what we thought they were going to be. None of my guesses were right. But the first one was the remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night that's coming out this year. I got it. I gotta say, they do like a whole little I don't want to say like skit, but it's kind of like a skit. It's kind of a skit to like intro it, and they revealed like this like Christmas tree in the front, and my dumb ass was like, I'm like sitting there, I'm like, what the fuck, like Christmas movie is coming out? And then when they revealed what it was, I'm like, I completely forgot they were doing this remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night from Mike P. Nelson. which I gotta say, honestly, this was pretty fucking good. Like, this was pretty fucking good. I really don't want to say anything. I don't want to give anything away. I'll just say I was very pleasantly surprised because the original one is like, I know it's kind of got like a cult following, and it has its moments where people kind of like joke and laugh at it, but it is kind of a dark movie. The original, this one, I don't takes it in a different direction. I don't want to, again, I don't want to say, but I really liked it. It definitely had fun, and I had a great time watching it. They have secret screenings at some festivals I go to. One of them, they announce the film a few days beforehand. The other is secret until it's playing. Usually they're retro screenings. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, these ones were like people like were guessing and stuff, but it was secret up until. Yeah, I can't wait for this. The original has been one of my faves since I was too young to. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think they like genuinely walked the line perfectly of like keeping with the original in some aspects and then doing something different, which is like what you want in a remake. You don't want it to be like a shot for shot the same thing, because then you could just watch the original. So there's no point. No point to that. Oh my god, Ian. But this one was good. I like this. Yeah, we got little like Santa hats. I didn't even try to put mine on, to be honest. I don't have them. They're in the other room. I should have brought all my little like things. But yeah, they had like little presents for everybody. That was like a little bloody Santa hat and like a little like light up. It was like a beaded necklace with like a little like Christmas light bulb on it. But hi, Ian. Ian was there at the festival. He saw everything. All right. So that was I don't remember what day we're on now. I really got to go faster because we got so many more movies to talk about. It's gonna be a 2-hour stream. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh, are you going to on the Vegas thing? That's so fun. So big and I don't know if it sounds bad if I say I don't know if I'd say it's an improvement. It was fun. It was fun. They like it takes it to a place that's like that's definitely a little bit different than the original. So I don't know. I'd say they kind of stand on their own a little bit. A little bit. Everyone's gonna have their love for the original though, so I don't know. Okay, I gotta go faster. Mother of Flies. Watch Mother of Flies. I think this was definitely the start of the next day. The new one from the Addams family, but the Addams with 1D. You guys know. The like super cutie, I say cutie. They are super cutie. Family that, you know, they just like make their little horror films, and they're just you know, even if I don't fully love what the movie itself, I feel like I very much like respect that they just like, I don't know, they make what they want to make and they just go out and they do the damn thing. So yes, exactly. Same team as Hellbender. Yeah, definitely saw John and Toby like walking around the fest a lot. So I feel like they were also just hanging out watching films too, which is cool. But this one was good. This one's good. Very witchy, like kind of dark, like woodsy witchy. Has some pretty decent gore in this one. It's about a girl who has a cancer diagnosis, so she goes to this like healer woman played by Toby Poser to try and cure her cancer because like nothing else has worked. So that's kind of like the premise. They are super charming. I think they're awesome. They're super awesome. Love them. And they're just out there like making their movies and clearly having a fun time. So I'm never gonna be able to fault them for that. Ooh, special edition Blu-ray of Hellbender. That's awesome. It's seriously awesome. I loved hearing them talk about like how they made stuff though too, because they're so just like chill about it and down to earth. Like, yeah, like if you those, get spirit Halloween skeletons, if you cover them in enough fake blood, they look good. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I mean, they do. They do. Okay, try and move slightly faster. Then I watched Marama. I think I'm saying that right. One of my favorite ones of the festival, hands freaking down. This is I'm just gonna let this speak for itself. It's a like good for her Maori gothic like ghost story with like one of like the better like good for her endings I've ever seen. Like the main character like is a Maori woman. She travels from New Zealand to England. In the Australian outback. It's okay. You can if you lose signal, you can always watch it back. But yeah, it's very you have to get through like cultural appropriation and stuff, like the white people she ends up staying with. Very much culturally appropriate the Maori culture. But she absolutely gets her vengeance in the end. And I know that's, I guess, technically maybe a spoiler by saying that, but it was incredible. So good. We ain't never seen anything like this one. Very beautiful. Can't wait to see what this director. Hold on, let me go back to put the director's name up there again, because there was like he did like a little video intro for the movie. And he said it was going to be the first movie of a like trilogy, but like it's not like a continuation of the story, but it's like similar themes. So I'm really excited for that after watching this. This was like a surprise hit, one of my favorite ones of the festival. For sure. Moving right along. Secret screening number 2, Begonia, which is the new one from Yorgos Lanthimos. Hopefully I said that correctly. This was the only one anybody in the gang guessed. Emma guessed this one. And ended up being correct. I'm sure you guys have probably seen the trailers for this one, so I won't bother you with the premise, but it was good. It totally went in a direction at the end that I wasn't really expecting it to go, but was pleasantly surprised. Excuse me. And I guess that's all I'll say because this one comes out kind of soon, I think. Right? I don't remember when exactly it comes out. I wish it had it like right at the top, like IMDb does, but I don't know exactly when it comes out, but the ending was surprisingly satisfying. Don't fully vibe with Yorgos' style, but I'm intrigued. I think it's definitely worth a watch. It's a very very interesting movie. It really doesn't get like weird until the end, I have to say. And I'm saying that, and I think I've only watched one other of his movies. I've only watched this one. And I thought this one was weirder. So if you don't maybe don't like the weirdness of it, I felt this one really only kind of got weird at the end. I guess that's all I'll say. Oh, then you might really like. Actually, I don't know again because I haven't seen the rest of his movie, so I don't know how it compares. I can only compare it to Kinds of Kindness, but yeah, I only have that to compare it to anyway. Okay, then we watched If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, which also made me cry. I imagined him weirder looking. That's fair, given the movies that he makes, the vibe of them. I understand. Yeah. I think you can maybe kind of tell from my review why I cried in this one, but definitely made me cry at the end. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Like anxiety inducing, Rose Byrne. I don't know. She did the damn thing. I really like this one. I liked the way the movie was. Like it pretty much like you're almost exclusively just like looking at her the entire movie. With like kind of good reason because she's just like breaking down more and more as the movie goes on. So so good. So good, so good. I don't know when this one I really should have like probably written down when shit comes out. So I know how much I can like talk about stuff. I'm not gonna give spoilers away anyway. It's fine. It's fine. But this is a very A24 movie, I will say. Very A24. Okay, then I watched Theater is Dead. Loved this one. So this one is it gonna load? Okay, there we go. Follows this college girl who has never acted in anything before and decides to just like audition for this like local theater in this play. She gets the leading role and then she finds out like the dark underbelly, I guess, of what's going on. The summary does not say it, so I'm not going to say it what's going on. But it does star Shane West. It stars Shane West. All I'll say is he plays like the theater director, which I thought was really funny, kind of given, even though he's done tons of other movies, but given A Walk to Remember, I'm like, my head canon is that him in A Walk to Remember, he ended up liking being in the play so much, because he falls in love while doing the play that he becomes a theater director in this. And that's my head canon. That's my headcanon. But this was a lot of fun. And it had like one of my favorite kills of the movie. And I could say it and it's like you don't have context for it. So I was gonna like the poster maybe might give you a little bit of context, I guess, but I don't know. Can I just say it involves a menstrual cup and that's all I'll say? And you have no context for that whatsoever. That's all I'll say. just to intrigue you guys, I guess. So this is the sequel, a very strange and completely the least like Nicholas Sparks kind of movie sequel. But yeah, all I'll say is it involves a menstrual cup, and it was like one of the best kills of the fest. I love women making movies. They're so much fun. So much fun. Definitely like a good intersection for like if you're like obviously you guys are horror fans, and if you're a theater geek, it's kind of like the perfect movie for that. Okay, and then the third secret screening was One Battle After Another. Don't let my review really tell you anything because everybody else loves this movie. One, just like not for me, like just in general, I like probably wouldn't have gone to see this movie either way. But Yeah, that's like, yeah, don't let my review deter anybody. I also just kind of feel like by this point in the festival, I had seen, and then you guys just saw a whole bunch of them, like the posters and stuff, and me describing them. I watched so many, um, like unique and cool movies that like the concepts for them and stuff I've like never seen before. This was just kind of like, okay, it was an action comedy. It was, I don't know. It just like compare like maybe I would have rated it higher if if I watched it on its own and not at this festival. It's also starring Leonardo DiCaprio, and I'm not really a fan of his. For you guys know the reasons. Um, yeah, not his biggest fan. Um, yeah, Brie exactly. Yeah, like not his fan. Um, so yeah, everybody else is really liking it though, so I guess yeah. It's already got a 4.5. That's wild, but like it genuinely kind of just paled in comparison to so many of the other stuff I was watching. So yeah, I don't know. And then I ended out the night, my God, um, with this. Um, Dracula should really be like in quotation marks. Um, so this is I don't know if anybody else knows this director. The person who like introed it was like talking a little bit about him. Radu Jude. Um, tough night. Tough night. Yeah. So this is like a 3 hour, almost 3 hour. No, it is 3 hours. Almost 3 hour movie where this director it's almost like documentary kind of like you keep there's like little it's like kind of segments that like and then you keep coming back to the director like talking about this essentially like what he's doing. It's another one of those like commentary on AI things, except I thought this was done like way poorly. Where the director is intentionally using AI to create Dracula adaptations and then creates the like Dracula adaptation from what the AI tells him to do, like the script and stuff like that. The whole point is to like show you like how bad AI is and how far away we get from the story of Dracula over the course of the movie. Like that's the point, which is not like a bad point to make, right? Because it's talking about like this like AI will never be better than like human creativity, right? Unfortunately though, it made that point like in the first 30 minutes. It made that point in the first 30 minutes. And then there was like 2.5 hours more of it where it's like, and we're just kind of like beating a dead horse. So yeah. But we talk about this since you posted your score. Yeah, it was an endurance test, this movie. No AI anywhere near my art. Yeah, there is. It's like it is like acted scenes, but it's like it's AI, like the script and stuff is AI created. There is instances of AI art. It's like it's the point of it. It's just it didn't need to be 3 hours long. It could have been like a short film. You know what I mean? Like it makes the point of like, yes, AI is bad. We've proven now that AI is bad because yeah. And the stories just go so off the rails again because AI is creating it, and that's the point he's making. But that's the thing though, it just goes like it just circles. This movie could have been an email. On like genuinely, this movie could have been an email. Yes. Exactly. So it's like I don't disagree with the point he was making. It did not need to be 3 hours long. The point was made, especially because it's like you're playing it to an audience of people who love film and who love cinema. And I think we all pretty much agree that, AI creating art is never as good as humans creating art. So it's like you're preaching to the choir also, where it's like, I don't know that this was the audience that really needed to watch this movie. I think the people that need to watch this movie are not going to be at Fantastic Fest, you know? It does sound like a YouTube video where it's like, like somebody trying to make yeah, sir, we get it. Exactly. And it just goes so off the rails, and like obviously it's going to go off the rails, but way too long. Should have been just like a 30-minute short film. 30-minute YouTube video. Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. We should have left. And there were moments I think where we both kind of were like, me and Emma were both kind of like, should we go? I don't know why we stayed. We should have just left. Okay. Then I watched VHS Halloween. This one comes out, I think, next week or this week, maybe even. I don't know what day it is anymore. This was just fun. Like I said, it was some good, clean Halloween fun. I think this series lends itself well to doing like fun, like kind of themed installments like this also, because I know they did oh my god, what's the other one called? That was like kind of like spacey and alien-y. Beyond? VHS Beyond. And now like Halloween. I would love to see a VHS Christmas. I feel like a very easy like short you could do would be like, somebody's home movie of like their kids opening presents. Would very much fit the like found footage vibe, the analog vibe. This was just fun. Beyond, exactly, yeah, Beyond. So I like the theme ones. The theme ones are fun. So excited to see the new VHS. This was a good. It was a good installment. It truly like kind of encompassed every aspect of Halloween, like the scary and dark parts, the really fun parts of Halloween. It had, it's an anthology. It's got something for everybody. But this was good. I like this. I like these. They were good. I'm going to post a a more lengthy review of this one next week, so I won't say anything more about it. But okay, then the second Justin Long movie is Night Patrol. I will say maybe like keep your eyes off of the poster too much, because I feel like the poster is a little spoilery. I won't say anything out loud. But yeah. Chat keeps cutting me on a trip. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not getting any weird stuff like where I have to approve you. So I don't know. And technically, actually, like my review is also a little spoilery. So this is like, and also the tagline is also spoilery. I guess it's not a spoiler if you're gonna put it up front. Yeah, I watched this one because like at Fantastic Fest in the little film guide they have like fun little tags for stuff, like they'll have like a tag for like if it's kinky, if it's queer, if it's strong women or something like that. And this one was like the only one that had the tag of like ACAB. So I was like, okay, like sure, like let's do this. There's kind of multiple storylines that kind of all end up like meeting at the climax at the end, where it's like you have like the like LAPD that have like a dark like secret kind of like task force thing that had like where the tagline's kind of alluding to like what's going on with the night patrol, and then like the residents of this neighborhood. You have Crips, you have Bloods. So there's like, it's like a gang task force with the police, just to like kind of set the scene. So everything is a spoiler. Yeah, pretty much everything is a spoiler, a little bit. I say it's a spoiler. They're clearly being upfront about it. I think it would have been a little bit cooler if they hid the kind of hints as to what's going on, because it's kind of obvious. I'm choosing not to say it, but I think you guys probably have picked it up already. I just think it would have been a little better if they hit it, but it was good. I think again, it's another one that it's like I feel like it was a little surface level. I would have liked to see it go a bit deeper. Um, I think, and I'm just gonna say it is made entirely by white men, and I can only say that confidently because like the entire fucking crew was at the screening of this, and like literally there was like 12 guys standing up at the front of the theater with the director when they went to go talk about this, and they were all white. And this is definitely has a more like black centered story. So I think they weren't ever going to go any deeper than they were, I guess. They were making a very clear ACAB point. That was very clear in the movie. I would have liked to maybe see it go a little bit deeper than like surface level, but the spoiler, they're robots. You got me. You got me, Des. What a callback. Yeah, I know. Seriously. I'm never going to live that down. Aggressively fine. Yeah, aggressively fine. Yeah. Yeah, I think the group of white men were never going to go as deep as they did, but it is very much an ACAB story. I think somebody, hold on, I did see a funny review. I'm never going to find it again. Oh, yes, this one. ACAB, which I think if you guys have picked it up, you guys know what's going on with the cops, which I thought was a very funny review. Might as well just show that since we've spoiled everything, but it was okay. It could have been better. Could have been better. Hello. Hi. Okay, then watched Crazy Old Lady, which I've learned 2 times over now, that the translation of the title is not like the most accurate and definitely kind of like leans into like this old description that's I don't it's not untrue, but she's not super old, genuinely. Yes, this is an Argentinian film. Argentinian horror film about um so we're kind of well, she's not really in the movie that much because it's like kind of set up. The setup is this woman um is on a road trip. She's like taking her daughter somewhere, and then she gets like a distressing call from her mother, um, to where she feels like her mother is in danger and has maybe put others in danger. So she sends um, her ex Pedro to go just stay with her mother for the evening while she can get back to the house. And then over the course of that evening, the mother, Alicia, I should say Alicia, um, is confused as to like what time she's in. She confuses Pedro for somebody else. Uh, and things get kind of bloody and freaky as you can kind of see from the poster. That's all I'll say, but it's yeah. Um, a little disturbing, kind of darkly funny. Um, it was definitely entertaining. I will say warning for like a dog, very clearly fake, but still, it's rough dog death like right at the beginning of this movie. CJ Bayona's name and my ears perked up. He produced the film. But it's still good. I would still recommend this. I thought it was fun. It was fun. There was a lot of moments that like the gore and stuff kind of like had me like cringing and like kind of pushing back in my seat a little bit, but yeah. And it was almost like kind of had like a sad ending too. Like that's all I can really say about it, but the ending was kind of sad. Yeah. But it was good. I would definitely put this on your watch list if any of this sounds Yeah, for gore in Argentinian movies. Yeah. It's not like a gore fest. Like they kind of keep it to some specific things that happen, but and you got a little bit of a hint here. She's got one of those I don't know what you call these. And you're never going to see it close up anyway because it's not going to load. The little thing, the little like electric kind of like knives things that you cut, like, you know, like if you were carving a turkey or something. I'm a vegan. I don't fucking know what it's called. All right, then we watched Find Your Friends, which was a like definitely kind of a little bit more intense. Why is the posters and stuff not loading? Okay. So this is about a group of friends that are on like a girls trip. They go out to Joshua Tree for the weekend, and then they run into some trouble of the male variety. So I guess kind of like a warning for SA. I'm gonna give the warnings because I think I think some of them need to be said, especially for the animal ones and stuff. An electric knife. Oh, cool. Okay, cool. Thank you. I don't fucking know. When's the last time I've ever had to carve a turkey? I don't need electric knives for anything. Can cut vegetables with a regular knife. Another one directed by a woman. In the intro, she said it was based on, like, kind of loosely on a girl's trip that she had been on, like, gone wrong. So, yeah. Is it most trouble of the period? Honestly, period. Absolutely. I will say this definitely has a satisfying ending also. And I guess my review is a no context spoiler, I guess. But they do get their vengeance in a fun way. Stars Bella Thorne, which Emma was really excited about. But this was a decent one. I liked it. I'm not mad about this one. Okay, then I did end up watching Primate. Just because there was nothing else playing like in this time slot that I really wanted to see. This was such a hard watch, just because of like the violence and stuff like that, as you can imagine. It involves a chimp that is a pet. And then the chimp Ben gets rabies, and gets rabies. So yeah. Tough to watch. But it's directed by Johannes Roberts, who did like the 47 meters down. Strangers Pray at Night. Oh yeah, I forgot it's in VHS. Cool. But yeah, so kind of like another type of animal horror, except we've moved away from sharks, now doing chimps, which is honestly to me scarier. Yeah. And no, it made me sad. So yeah, and this is like that scene, but the entire film. So yeah, it was kind of awful to watch. It was not easy to watch. Not easy to watch. But I mean, I stand by my review. I think anybody who thinks chimpanzees are an appropriate household pet should have to watch this movie, among other things, but they should definitely have to watch this movie. Yeah, if it sounds like you're not gonna like, because it's the entire movie. And the gore is, yeah, they don't shy away from the gore in this one. So yeah, maybe not the best one to watch. Okay, we're nearing the end, which is good because I feel like my voice is gonna go. I watched Dolly. This is the last day, by the way, too. Starting with Primate was like the last day of films. I saw Dolly. which was a little bit, I don't want to say it was like a disappointment. The vibes looked so cool. It's really simple premise. Like a couple are take like a hike in the woods, and then they run into this scary person dressed up like they're wearing like a porcelain like doll mask. Yeah, the poster looks a little bit like cooler than I thought the movie was. I weirdly just feel like the kind of like monster of the movie, Dolly, was like underutilized. It almost feels like we were missing like a part of the movie that like kind of gave us a little bit of like the backstory or just like hints. Like you don't have to explain it, in depth, but just drop a couple of like hints leading up to it. It's like they run into this person and then that's it. It's just then there's just like some, awful things that happen, but oh, is Aaron not good with dolls? And the dolly herself is like running around in a porcelain mask, so maybe not. I don't know if see if I can get it. Yeah. So like that's what they look like. Again, it looked really cool. Like it's a really striking like image. I think I was just a little bit disappointed with like the plot is all. So, but it does have Sean William Scott in it, which is fun. That was super fun. But yeah, I think it could have been better. I think we could have been better. Okay, then another one of my like all-time favorites at the festival was I almost couldn't find it because I was typing in silencio, which is what it was called in the program, but then it's like silence here. Spanish, kind of shorter like movie. It's like not even, it's 69 minutes. Uh-huh. Um this was such a like just visually beautiful movie. Um but it follows kind of like the summary is like a little bit misleading. It's like I don't know. It's like this vampire. The main story is this vampire who falls in love. She falls in love with this woman who has AIDS. Um, but it's just them like finding love essentially. It's very short, so I don't want to like describe it, and it's kind of hard to describe. I wish I could like show you guys like what this movie looked like because it was genuinely so beautiful. I don't know if this is only like one image. Although I do love this moment in the movie. It's like, oh my god, the imagery is such a vibe. It is so gay. It's lesbian vampires, guys. Like I don't know what else to tell you. Is there anything else that kind of like shows the vibe? Nothing is loading. Nothing is loading. But it's lesbian vampires. I feel like that's really all you need to know. And this one's quite short. So if you ever get the chance to watch it, it's just over an hour. I would say it doesn't overstay its welcome, but I would have been fine if this one overstayed its welcome because it's lesbian vampires. So I don't know why it couldn't have overstayed its welcome, but it was so good. It was like surprisingly so good. Gay vampires, yes. The person who introed it also was like, in his little intro, was like, all vampire stories are gay. And I was like, yes, period. Yes, they are. Any distribution for, not that I know of. Not that I know of. I hope so. Because they're so good. Genuinely like so good. Nothing's loading. Okay. Nothing's loading. Okay, and then finally, I'm going to wrap this up. The very last movie of the festival, the closing movie, was Whistle. From Corin Hardy. This was genuinely just like a very straightforward, kind of like, like the gimmicky kind of like teen horror movies. Or it's like it's set in high school. There's kind of a gimmick. The gimmick here being the like Aztec death whistle. What do you mean, girl? 2.5 stars. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be blunt. It's a Final Destination ripoff. A little bit. It's a little bit of a Final Destination ripoff. They do something like a little more creative with it. That hold on, I'm gonna read the summary really quick and see if it even says what it is. So I don't say it, I guess. But why do you like this movie so much? Tell me. Tell me. But gay. Well, yeah, it is gay. But I can't like it is gay. There are sapphics. But I can't even like, like the 2.5 are pretty much for like that. I do know that it's gay. I can't say what I want to say though, because it is a spoiler. So I'm not gonna say. It's just it was just very like straightforward, like gimmicky kind of high school thing. Personally, again, I feel like we were missing, like, this could have been a little bit longer. It's only 85 minutes. This could have been a little bit longer to let us like I feel like we didn't have time to breathe before we get into it. Like, you always have your cold open where you kind of you watch a character die and it kind of gets you in the mood for like what's going to happen. And then you have like a little bit of like setup. You have a little bit of like exposition to like get to know the characters. No, does not happen. We like jump right into it. I feel like we could just give it like 10 more minutes to like fucking give us a second to breathe. Before it genuinely just like it dives headfirst into it. And I felt like I felt it being super fast. So it was fine. It was fine for what it was. If you're sitting there and I'm going to say this without being spoiler. If you're sitting there and you're like, oh, it's got a gay couple, it probably doesn't end well for them. So I don't know if I want to watch it because of that. I will just say, just go watch it. And that's the only hint I'm giving you. Just watch it. When gay just isn't enough. Yeah, unfortunately, the gay is not enough. And it's sapphic gay, which is my favorite kind of gay. You never just say stuff like that and you're like, wow, if somebody like you become self-aware. I'm like, what the fuck am I talking about? You guys get me. Yeah, the gay was just not enough to save the rest of the movie. So seriously, I agree with you from watching the trailer. Yeah, the rest of it is kind of just gimmicky. It's fine for like a teen kind of just like popcorn horror flick. It is fine. Teensy bit of a Final Destination ripoff, though. I stand by that. A little bit, just a little bit. Okay, but that's it. Oh my God, I've been going for 2 hours. My voice is going to be gone tomorrow. That was it. That is everything I watched at Fantastic Fest. Holy fucking shit. It was so many movies, guys. My eyes are still kind of tired. I'm not going to lie. I probably should have like taken. Everyone's going to be like, you still can, Vicky. I probably should have like taken a break, like a YouTube break immediately after this, just to give my eyes a break from like the screens. Cause I feel like this is probably not, my eyesight's already shit, but it's not going to help me. It's not going to help me at all. My eyes are still tired. Cause it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. Really hope you can step up your game in October. You're funny. That was epic. Yeah, that's the most movies I've ever watched in 1 month, and I think it will forever be the most movies I've ever watched in 1 month. Like, holy shit. Holy shit. I'm gonna take it's gonna take me like 2 or 3 weeks to recover from this. In a good way. It was so much fun. I was a little dubious at the start because like it was a lot that first day where I was kind of like, I don't know if I can do this. It's a lot. But once I got used to it, I hear your parting was teary. It was Emma started it. She started crying first, and then I started crying. Uh, it's always sad because we live so far, we live so far apart. So it's like you never know it's nice to see each other in person, but you never know when this is only the second time we've met in person. So also waiting for the press tea. Don't worry. I'm gonna give the Patreon the press tea. I have a lot to say about that one. I have so much to say about that. You guys are gonna be gagged. You're gonna be gooked. Okay. I'm going to promptly end this stream. Because I feel like I'm not gonna be able to talk tomorrow. But yeah, that's everything I watched. Holy, definitely do not. We don't. So just stay tuned. We'll let you know when the next one will be and what the themes are, but we don't have a plan yet, so I don't have any movies to tell you or anything. So, but yeah. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, thank you for watching all of this. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, have a good night. Bye. Good night.